afternoon's work. But there we are, Paul Thorpe, the winner of heat number 18. So the penultimate heat here at Brandon Stadium, Andy Smith red, Dave Millett blue, Martin Dugard is in white, and Gary Havelock is in yellow and black. So Gary Havelock looking set to become the British Speedway champion. He's on gate number 4 in the yellow and black. Watch him as the tapes rise. Also watch Martin Dugard, who would like to win this one to get on double figure score. He's on 7 points. That's the way they go into the start for heat number 19. Gary Havelock, who really has taken this British final by storm. 4 smooth wins, and must surely be set now to take pole position. If you can concentrate, get out of that start, keep that bike buzzing. And up they go, and away they go. And who is the first one to show? Is Havelock, who's got the audacity to look over his shoulder and see that with him in red is Andy Smith. So Andy Smith and Gary Havelock lock together as they go in the third and fourth turn of lap 1. And now Havelock begins to put a little bit of daylight between him and Andy Smith. So Havelock looking set to become the 1991 British Speedway champion here at Brandon this afternoon. Rides of course for Bradford Colite Dukes in the Sunbright League. 2 laps gone, and Havelock not only set to become the British champion but could go through unbeaten on a 15-point maximum. Andy Smith behind him. In third place is Martin Dugard, but as Gary Havelock keeps looking over his shoulder, more worried about the opposition than making a mistake himself. That's how confident this lad is. Had his fair share of problems with the sport, it's fair to say, but he's put all that behind him this afternoon as he comes round the final 2 bends. And it's going to be Gary Havelock that takes the British title. Second place, it's going to be Andy Smith. Third place, Martin Dugard, but that's all pure speculation, because just look at this young fellow in yellow and black who punches the air with delight. He's become the 1991 British champion. Shakes hands with first Andy Smith, then Martin Dugard. And doesn't he look happy with life? And who can blame him? He's not only taken this British final by storm, but he's produced 5 magnificent outings to win it on a 15-point maximum. The tapes rise on heat number 20. Mark Loram, Joe Screen, Sean Wilson and Neil Collins. And as they drive round the first and second turn. And the first one to show in wide is Sean Wilson. Yellow and black, Neil Collins behind him. So Sean Wilson leads, Neil Collins in second place. Blue in third place is Joe Screen, and Mark Loram sadly in fourth. And this will mean Loram is going to have to dice for a reserve place at the Commonwealth final at the moment. But the rider in white, Sean Wilson, will go through if he can stay out of trouble. Sean Wilson now coming under pressure from Neil Collins. Neil Collins in yellow and black. Sean Wilson in white, just watch these two. Sean Wilson in white, of course, rode for Coventry last season of the last lap of the last heat here at Brandon Stadium. And Neil Collins coming up closer. Has he got anything left? One of the famous Speedway family, of course, the Collins. Coming around the final 2 bends, Neil Collins now with the inside line and swims through. It's Collins who gets there. Second place is Sean Wilson. Third is Joe Screen. He left it to the final 2 bends, but it's Neil Collins who gets 3 points as he wins heat number 20. It's 2 points for Sean Wilson and 1 point to the rider in third place, Joe Screen. So a run-off for the reserve position at the Commonwealth final between red and white. White is John Davis, red is Mark Loram, and the way they drive, and who's going to be the first one to show is Davis, who gets there in the white helmet colour. Loram second in red, and Davis just wide, and Loram comes through with sweet ease. Has he got the power? It's Loram that leads. Davis second. This is for the reserve berth at Kings Lane on Sunday, June the 2nd, and it's Loram who leads, who will be on home territory, and he'll just have to keep his fingers crossed that perhaps misfortune strikes one of the other 10 competitors and he can go there and actually compete in that meeting. That's what it's all about. Davis second, and perhaps Davis's fall early on in the British final has cost him dearly, but Bart Loram, who had such a great season in 1990 and is doing well for Kings Lynn, sadly publicity doesn't follow him, but with 1 more lap to go he looks as though he's got that reserve berth at the Commonwealth final. Bar for any unforeseen accidents or misfortunes to that machine, as he drives swiftly around the final two bends. It's Mark Lorham who comes up to take the win. He's reserved for the Commonwealth final. So congratulations to him, commiserations to John Davis, and now we know the full lineup for June the 2nd, and there he is, the man who's done it. 15-point maximum for Gary Havelock. Congratulations to you, Gary. Here he is, 15 points in pole position for Gary Havelock. Second place to Calvin Tatum on 13. Third place, Chris Louis. How well this young fella rode from Ipswich. He's in third on 11. 2 riders on 10, Paul Thorpe and Jeremy Doncaster. Neil Collins on 9, Martin Dugard and Andy Smith on 8. Sean Wilson and Joe Screen both on 7, and Mark Lorham, who travels to the overseas final, he goes there of course as reserve. The other riders, John Davis on 5, Alan Graham 4, Dave Millett and Richard Knight both on 3. A disappointment for Richard Knight, and the final position, number 16, was Steve Schofield on 2 points.